are walking alone.
But Liverpool, I want us to break a few things down, okay? And I'll start. I'll start with you, Ajo. At the beginning of the season, Liverpool seemed to be treading on the thin thread of last-minute interventions. A lot of people said, well, that's what champions are made of. They go out there and they grind out results irrespective. There's another school of thought as well that said they were just being lucky.
You remember I said it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we did.
And that they will be found out sooner or later. They've gone 4 games without a win. 4 games in which they've lost. What should Liverpool fans be seething over? The gusto of the team, the tactics of the coach, the commitment of the players, or lack?
Cousin, thank you. Very important part of the show for Liverpool fans. I know there are many in Ghana and they rate the show, so they are tuned in to listen. See, I will name this departmental problems because in every department of the field there's a huge problem there. So before I even start talking, I'll say Liverpool fans, you might expect more of this. Probably now draws, not defeats, because they'll continue to concede. The first problem that I've realized in this Liverpool team is that the beautiful chemistry, the beautiful connection, the awesome telepathy between Konate and Van Dijk, it's gone. And my own school of thoughts, I feel like the contract situations of Konate must have annoyed this Van Dijk guy, so there's no chemistry again, and they are playing like they are strangers. Because there's no way this partnership was there with Arsenal last season in Europe, not in England, in Europe. The connection was there. Van Dijk would do the sweeping. Konate was so cool to do the like be the aggressor. Now, in the first half, around the 30th minute, there was a counter-attack. That counter-attack, Liverpool won it calmly in their half. And then they lost the ball again. The Konate, I know that Van Dijk was not in his position, will go there and do a job. First sequence, I wish I had got the pictures. First sequence, he went in there, did Van Dijk's job for him. That's what team they almost once they get each other. There's a unity between the two of them. Now the same situation happened again. Konate was supposed to go and cover for Van Dijk. He didn't. He left that space for Kerkez, who was coming back from defense to come and what? From offense to come and join the defense again after he was going overlapping. Van Dijk went to go and head the ball. He didn't come early. Konate left that space for Kerkez to only do the work. So there is no understanding between Konate and Van Dijk. That has been established. Now, on this same beautiful platform, in this same seat, I just sat here and said, Mr. Slot, why have you gone in for full flying fullbacks, i.e. Frimpong, Kerkez? Back up to Kerkez, Robertson, aging, not on form. Back up to Frimpong, Bradley, offensively handicapped. So what was the plan? Going in for these attacking-minded fullbacks. The season began, we were not impressed with the fullbacks. Liverpool fans told me that Kerkez is so good with going and coming back, so he will be like the Balde type of player for us. He will go, when he goes, he will come back. He gave us a Bakayoko performance against United.
Oh, Bakayoko.
A Bakayoko performance, because he was all over the place. And the Bournemouth Kerkez that we all praised, Manchester was chasing this guy, Liverpool was chasing this guy. He is struggling. If he gets it, he will go back to Bournemouth.
But is it not because of the pressure? It's a bigger team.
No, at Liverpool, there's nothing like pressure. Pressure is Chelsea. Pressure is United. Pressure is probably Arsenal. The system, there's no connection. Van Dijk is playing like he has retired. Get Van Dijk out of this team and you will save Liverpool. He has done enough. He has done it all. He has won it all. Van Dijk and Salah, they are becoming the problem for Liverpool. Not in a bad way.
But they are the most experienced players in the team.
Done. Yes, because they are just
So are you saying that Van Dijk is the cause of Liverpool's problems?
Van Dijk and Mo Salah. Not in a bad way, like you don't rate them. But they need a different competition. They need new personal competition again. They are done. Van Dijk is playing like he has retired. Salah is playing like he's in Saudi. They are all not focused on the Liverpool
So
job.
should they have let them go in the summer?
Yes. And you see, we won't only blame the Liverpool problem to the coach. They made recruitment. They thought it will work because most often than not, their recruitments are spot on. But they forgot that Caicedo's, the Gyökeres, the big money names. When you go and try some, we have eyes on you, and we will scale you through. So for me, second biggest problem is Mo Salah. So in a nutshell, Mo Salah and Van Dijk ran away from them in a good way. Oh, they have given you that poor ahead. They're going for Semenyo to replace Salah. If you can fork out big money in January, go for him. Because Semenyo will be a hot trick in the summer.
And who will replace Van Dijk?
Van Dijk Magui will be coming. He almost joined them. He'll be a free agent, free player in the summer. So these two players. Now, for Salah, after blaming him on the ball, I won't blame him entirely because nobody is complimenting him on the right.
But I mean, what's his name? Conor Bradley.
Conor Bradley offensively has nothing to the Liverpool team, and they know it. When they call, they'll tell us. In the game, he was using Kekes to overlap, then Gakpo will occupy the left half spaces. But Kekes was struggling, so he gave instructions that, okay, now Bradley try. When Bradley tried, it was not working. It was disaster. He couldn't link up with Salah. He couldn't link up with Szoboszlai. He couldn't cross balls or do cutbacks. And this is where I go to my third point. They are missing Arnold like crazy. Go to my Twitter. When I said they came for me, they insulted me all over the place. Liverpool fans, they didn't know they can insult because
You thought they were calm.
I thought they were calm. Why are they
Shout outs to Mr. Meuga. Mr. Meuga.
Why are they missing Arnold? Not even defensive duties too. Because what Arnold will give this team offensively, okay, example, he does it with ease. When the goings get tough, one sexy cross from Arnold, it hits your back and it's a goal. It hits your forehead, it's a goal. They are missing his quality offensively. So, better trade can happen. Liverpool needs Arnold back. Madrid needs Frimpong. Because Frimpong and Zabi is a beautiful marriage. Because Bradley is not playing well, Frimpong is struggling. Now in this same game, they brought Frimpong in as a right winger, and all he could do was what? Execute crosses into the box. That was at least the basic he could do.
He put in a beautiful cross.
It's very good.
I mean, when he came on, he had two take-ons. Within a period of maybe like 6-7 minutes.
Is he a natural winger?
Okay.
But he showed offensively that he can do the job.
Yes.
On the right.
So why is this coach not trusting him? That when you play Frimpong and Kekes, you see,
maybe he doesn't trust him to be a good defender.
No, you see, this is where the sporting directors got it wrong. You are going in for two attacking fullbacks, and you want all of them to overlap. Because when they all overlap, you don't have the best DM in the world off the ball. You don't have a Caicedo or a Declaration or even a Tchouaméni. You have a Gravenberch who is a box-to-box midfielder now learning the trade as what? A better DM. Out of nowhere, he's being exposed this season. Because, again, the fourth problem, McAllister is non-existent in the Liverpool midfield. So, because you see how I'm moving around with the problem, it's plenty, Papa. And I'm happy we saw it on a different platform. When Liverpool won against Newcastle, I said, I don't like how they are playing. When they won against Arsenal, I said, I don't like how they are playing. They didn't understand why. You see, now Gravenberch will be exposed because imagine, okay, you've gone to the market, you've bought in Frimpong, you've bought in Kekes. Now on paper they all overlap. You are remaining with Konate and Van Dijk at the back there, and you put Gravenberch in front of them. You have three players when there's a counter attack. Does it work? No, it doesn't. So he can't play Frimpong and play Kekes because he knows that they are all offensive minded. They cannot defend. That's why he's trying to rely on Bradley. That when Kekes overlaps, they have a back line of three, and they can at least contain the pressure.
Not to cut you short, Sergio, but I think Liverpool had the same problem. I won't say problem, but they had the same situation with Trent when everybody was like, Trent's biggest attribute is going forward and defensively he lacks. So don't you think Liverpool kind of brought in similar.
No. The
players
thing
like
with
that.
Trent is that what he gives you going forward, it
You can't
covers up
argue
for
him
everything.
everything.
Mistake in
It
that.
covers up for everything.
And they were hoping that they would get that
Yeah.
in Frimpong. And we went Frimpong when he was there, and Arnold and Kekes, what's his name? Robertson overlap. They had Fabinho
Yeah.
to sit in front of that defense and I mean do all the dirty work for
And
them.
Fabinho was a very versatile player.
Yes, and very
For
underrated.
Monaco, he was even playing as a right back.
Yes.
See, the kind of attacking weapon Trent was for
Yes.
Liverpool as a fullback.
Yes.
The only person I've seen replicate that is Marcelo for Real Madrid.
Honestly.
Aside that, there's been no other fullback who has been able to give Liverpool that much attacking danger, like that attacking threat that Liverpool had from Trent from right back.
Yes.
I mean, I've said it several times that anytime you cross the center circle, he's dangerous.
Yeah.
Just cross the center and he can find
He can
anyone.
shoot, he can cross, he can just get you a goal out of nothing. So it's clear now they know they are missing him. Maybe they are paying from how he left the club, so they are saying we don't miss him. What Trent will do even in midfield for club, you just clap. Have you forgotten what Trent will do for this club midfield when the invention came in football? He will be fun. So they miss him. Like if we won't even go there straight, they are missing.
I mean, does it show in the fact that they've tried everybody there from Szoboszlai to Bradley to Frimpong, and they're still trying to find a mainstay for that position?
And even let me, that's my fourth point. Thank you, Kosi. So I'm left with two more. Playing Szoboszlai as a right back should end after this defeat.
But he's doing well
to
at right
United.
back.
He's not doing well. He's putting energy there, so we feel like he's doing something. He's a midfielder. He needs to complement Gravenberch in midfield because McAllister doesn't want to play football now. Maybe next year. You see, let's be honest with Liverpool fans. If pundits or football talkers want to give McAllister the Enzo treatment, they won't even like us as pundits. But nobody cares about him because we know that when he picks his rhythm, he will play well. He's not playing well. He's not affecting games positively. He leaves all the work for Gravenberch and Szoboszlai. Imagine Szoboszlai in one game playing as a right back and you come into midfield again. I mean, why? He's not a robot. Now, of course, the fit problem. That this one I'll collab with the sporting directors. Michael Edwards is one of the best in the business. Now, when it comes to even bringing in players on board, doing negotiations and scouting players, he's a top-notch guy. Liverpool's head of recruits, Michael Edwards. How do you let Diaz leave this club? And you promise or give in a speech that you bring in a winger, and you don't bring Liverpool a winger, and you go in for Isak and Hugo Ekitike.
Maybe he felt that Isak can play as an inside forward like he should, and Ekitike same. There's Chiesa as well. Maybe he felt that was good enough.
Yesterday, tactically, Slot did something. When he brought in Hugo Ekitike, he made him occupy the left half spaces. And Gakpo was hugging the line. Why was he hugging the line? Because now Amorim had made Dalot be the right wing back and brought in Dogu. So in that sequence, he wanted to pin the fullbacks and use what's his name? Ekitike as what? That penetrator from the middle, from the half spaces, which was working. It brought him the equalizer. But the question is, Isak is not playing well. Hugo Ekitike is scoring the goals when Isak was not around. Why are you making the guy feel bad? You're going to make the guy lose form. Start playing him. Isak is not ready. Isak has not done preseason. Isak lacks fitness. He can't even strike a ball. So I saw the clear plan. Okay, he wants to use Hugo in the half spaces and sacrifice one midfielder. It won't work. Let me tell you, we all have tactical eyes. Mister, it won't work a lot because Hugo is becoming a dangerous player in the box. Let him be in the box. Why will you go in for two number 9s? Okay, you can have a number 9 on the bench.
But two very expensive number 9s.
Expensive number 9s. We all question that. So he's making the analysis. I'm enjoying the analysis because everything we said during transfers on the board is happening now. Because we are enjoying it. Isak, you see, Isak, we don't like you because of how you treated me. I don't like him because of how you treated Newcastle. And it will maybe struggle for some time. To the last problem, then I'm done. Kosi, with how things are going, flaring rates, it is dangerous.
This Florian Wirtz issue.
And I like him.
I think you read my mind because the next question I was going to ask Elikem and Andan was the new signings, each and every one of them, how they would fit into the system and how they've done so far, and whether the signs are ominous or not. But you finish your point.
I don't. We see if you've watched the guy for a long time, you know he's a talent, and ideally, every football talker wants to defend the boy, but how things are going. He has not been lucky because Liverpool are now losing games, so nobody will say something for you. But we see the only positive I have from this that our advice Slot is that Slot go back to last season's system. Just that for now.
You don't have the wingers.
You don't have the wingers.
You don't have the wingers to do that.
To go to the counter-attacking system.
He doesn't have the wingers to. See, the thing with Slot is this: last season's system revolved around alternating your wingers a lot. So if you watch Slot very well last season, he never finished the game with the same wingers on the pitch. Now when he takes off Gakpo, who comes in to replace him? There's no winger on the bench. Last year it was Gakpo for Diaz or Diaz for Gakpo, and they work perfectly well. You know why now Gakpo is like they are pissed with Gakpo? It's because they are beginning to see that Gakpo has bad moments and bad games. Last season, we didn't see that because the moment the bad games were coming, Diaz came on to replace him. The moment Diaz was having a bad game, Gakpo came on to replace him. So they did that perfectly. Because on the other side of the wing, you know that Salah is Mr. Consistent. He even if he's having a bad game, you win the game. So for that, it wasn't an issue. He will get you a goal. Even when he's playing, he can play bad for 89 minutes and get you the goal. So there was not much worry about Salah. But on the other wing, they were alternating between Gakpo and Diaz very, very much. And even at times, the front, it was even the number 9 and the right wing. Because there was times when Nunes, Gakpo, Diaz, Jota, the four of them were sharing those two positions. And they worked perfectly well for him. He saw 3 of those guys. Sorry, he saw 2.
2, yeah.
And Jota.
Okay.
So you understand? So now he's lost 3 players who used to give him that. And he's brought in 2 players who are all number 9s.
Look,
you understand?
Here's the catch for me before I bring you. You see, in solving this rate problem, for me, as a coach, I don't know if people are not aware that Fleury can play as a left winger.
I think he can play across the front.
Yes, the reason why I'll move him to the left wing, because when he is central, they easily cut him off the ball.
But does he have? He's coming into the English Premier League. He's a very diminutive player. Okay, does he have the strength to hit the ground running as a winger in the Premier League?
Yes, when he comes from the bench and read games for the coach, that is what I will do.
Look at how, for example, Gittins, who's from Germany as well, is struggling on the wings. For a lot of these players, they come from a league that's not as intense as the Premier League. So it means they have to adapt. Is he not just going through those teething problems? Are they not playing him there because they want him to have a feel of the game?
Because if how Salah is playing, will you bench him, yes or no?
Without hesitation, I would.
As a coach?
I would.
You bench him?
I'll use him as an impact player. He's good. Experience-wise, he's good. He knows how to find the back of the net. Being there, seen it, done that. But I think the pace of the game is passing him by.
True. Look, will you bench Salah or not as a coach?
I'll come to Salah very soon.
Okay, so for me, because we can't bench Salah, well, of course, obviously, because when you say that, the Liverpool fan will call in and be angry. And we will ask the same question, will you bench Salah or not? When will they call? Let's ask them. You see, flaring weights can become a tool for you on the bench. Now, he's an underrated dribbler of the ball. That I know because I've watched him a lot. Now, let him deputize Gakpo. And I feel like when he does that, Gakpo is so direct. He doesn't even wait for Kekes to overlap. You know, they will link up play. This is pure coaching here because listen very well. If he tries this, because me, if I'm Liverpool coach, I'll try it with ease and it will work for me because I know what I'm talking about. If I overlap Kekes, I don't have a technically so flary winger, my direct one. He always leaves me behind. Now, when Gakpo gets the ball, he's coming to hit you 1v1. He doesn't often wait for Kekes to come. So they'll probably link up play on the left. But when you start playing flowing weight on the left, his take on will be perfect. He will wait for his partner Kekes to come in and they will link up and find you in the box. That's why they'll find Salah will find them these cutbacks arriving and tapping and score, or passing the box to score. So for me, he has to change the position of Florian Wirtz to ease the pressure off him. Stop playing Szoboszlai as a right back. Play him in midfield. When you overlap Kekes, make sure Bradley becomes the right centre back, Van Dijk becomes the left centre back, and Konate becomes the CCB. And you make Gravenberch have one eye to help Van Dijk because he's becoming out of pace to some extent. Szoboszlai is number 10. Back up. If you're not playing McAllister, start playing Jones. He's Liverpool true and true. He will play. And now change the instructions. When we are building up, we don't find Salah again because his first touch is coming back. Now when they're going to get up for Liverpool, when Mada gets the ball, he's flying the ball straight to Mo Salah. It's not working again. You've been found out. Find Gravenberch, let him help with the build-up. Find the left side, and just when off the ball too. Now you have 3 people off the ball. You make sure that you come with the counter play. When you change the system, you start getting results because he has the quality in attack. And stop playing Isak. He's not ready. Don't put pressure on the boy. We like what Hugo Kitike is doing for them right now. So therefore, let him start games. So but for me, in the nutshell, they will still have problems because he won't listen to Ajo. If you don't listen to Ajo,
who are you? Who are you for him to listen to?
I'm a very dangerous coach.
Anyway,
I'm the one who says it happens.
Andante.
Yeah, for me.
The King Ajo has outlined a lot of problems with this Liverpool team. A lot of people feel, Charlie, they've just been unlucky. Yesterday, Gakpo hit the bar twice and all of that. People are saying, listen, the coach is doing a good job, but we should just give the new signings, the new expensive signings, some time to gel. Are we in an era where people should be given time, or perhaps our Premier League title holders, so they should hit the ground running?
Yeah, but it's similar to what happened to Liverpool as soon as their post-EPL winning season. But with that one, I think they blame it on losing Van Dijk in the early part of the season.
They lost their entire back four, so
yes,
you can forgive them
so
for
that one I can pardon them. But it's similar, like they lost key men in their team, whether to injury. By this time, they lost a key man in their team to say a player transfer. So it's similar. They are facing challenges like how it happened to them. So maybe it's something that they should look out for, that maybe they post their title winning season, they struggle. And it's not something that is a sign of a very worthy champion. I think that the kind of transfers that they did, Ajo has said a lot about the Trent situation. And it's true. I did chip in a question about that, and it's very clear that you had Trent Alexander-Arnold, who had a very good telepathy with Mo Salah. Okay, so if you look at the Liverpool teams now have, when you talk about the right flank itself, teams are now concerned with Mo Salah and then Trent. And we are talking about Trent Alexander-Arnold, who could give like defense splitting passes, long balls, more than any other player in the team. And that was coming from just the right hand side. Now you don't have that anymore. He gave more long passes, I think 179 long balls or defense splitting passes to Salah, more than any other partnership in the EPL. You get it? And then now, if you lose such a player, of course it's going to affect you. The key passes that he used to give per game was like 7.9 per game. You have now Conor Bradley and then my man Frimpong, who can't even. Conor Bradley is averaging about 3.3 per game now, and Frimpong hasn't even completed a long pass. I don't blame them because that is not their attribute. Their main attributes at right backs are they are good as ball carriers, and that wasn't Trent's biggest arsenal. But that is what they have now. The players that they have, the replacement that they have in Trent is not like for like replacement. You are now having ball carriers, better progressive ball carriers, and then you have taken the chance creation attributes from the right back into now Florian Wirtz. So if Wirtz if he had hit the ground running, we wouldn't have been talking and having this conversation. Because I think that they thought that maybe Wirtz would take all the pressure from the right back. Now they are changing their style of play, leaving the focus on their right flank into the midfield, so that they are now about to operate from the midfield, and it's not working. So I think that is the reason why Slot is trying to try Szoboszlai at the right flank to see if he can get some of the results in the partnership that we used to have between Trent and Salah there. That's why maybe he's trying that. That is how I feel, because he's seen that obviously the first thing is not working, but he needs to manage the situation now by pushing Szoboszlai over there. But these things you get found out. I remember last season when Man City were about to hit that long streak of defeats, I used to have a conversation with Ajo and some of my colleagues, and it was prior to the Ballon d'Or decision that Rodri was about to win the Ballon d'Or, and the conversation was that what does he add to the Man City team? And I was like, he controls everything, and City struggles without him. They have actually lost only one game. They lost, I think, City lost one game without him, and with that game, that was the only game they lost, and that was without him. So I talked about it, and they were like, with that season prior to the Ballon d'Or winning, City were still gaining results, so they are still not missing him despite the injury. And I said, look at how City is playing. They will get found out very soon. They were struggling to get those results, and that was how Liverpool has been playing. When you talk about it, the Liverpool fans think that, oh, you hate them or something, but it was obvious. If you are always relying on last-minute goals, then it means that there is a problem somewhere. You are actually relying on luck, and if it's always luck runs out, it gets to a point you are now supposed to face the reality, and when all these lucks run out, that is when we see you for who you are. And that is the problem with Liverpool. If you want to win the league, you need this kind of these fortunate situations, like last minute victories at the latter parts of the season when everybody's legs have run out. That is when you actually win out of nowhere. Like City, you get Company shooting the ball out of nowhere and then he scores, which is unlike what Man City would do. That is how teams win leagues, when everybody is not expecting them. But you use that, you depend on that when the season starts, then it means that maybe there's something that we should be looking at. So it was obvious, like everything about them this season was screaming danger alert, danger alert, danger alert, and now the ship is sinking. So, well, I think it's hard time some of the players stood up, man up, and try and then avert the situation. Their recruitment has been poor.
Poor.
Yes, I mean, I haven't really appreciated how they handle their striking role.
I mean, they brought in a goalkeeper, Mama, that's really top goalkeeper. They brought in Giovanni Leone, top centre back, young. They brought in Fiorin Vets for top dollar. They brought in Hugo Ekitike. They brought in what's his name, Alexandre Isak. These are top players on their day.
Yeah, so it seems to me that it got to a point. I was like, wow, you're really buying big, but I asked myself
several key places they should have bought.
Yes,
that they didn't
like
buy.
who is this guy's replacement? Luis Diaz.
Yes.
Who is his replacement now?
Maybe the top vets, and maybe they're looking for a different profile.
Exactly. So that I felt like they could have also looked at the if you think that Trent is missing Trent will be a big problem, without going in, when you bring in Jeremy Frimpong for Trent, it's a red flag. It's a very, very big red flag, because I mean Trent and Jeremy, different players. You get it. Now you have a striker. You've bought Ekitike. Then Isak is available. Then you splash title EPL record-breaking transfers in one season, twice or so. You get it. So it feels quite strange to me how they approach it. It's like they had the money and they just wanted to splash it around and get any player at all. So I just don't like how they handled some of the assets that they got and then the signings that they brought in.
So, Elikem, would you also agree that they were trying to fix what was not broken? Extremely. I mean, they went extreme ends to look to strengthen a team, or perhaps they should have just kept the core of that team and just look to get a few not too marquee additions to get them across the line.
No, look, it was evident that this team was in transition. Let's not forget, in Klopp's last season, his last summer as Liverpool manager, he did a complete overhaul of the midfield. That's when he sold Fabinho, Henderson, and one last guy. He sold Fabinho, Henderson, and there's one other guy he let go. Then he brought in Szoboszlai, he brought in Gravenberch, he brought in McAllister. You understand?
Brighton, yeah.
So he revamped the midfield in one summer. So it was evident that the team that won the team that had given them success from 2017 to 2022 needed changing, and it needed a rebuild. So the rebuild had been going on for some time. Now, the thing is, when Arne Slot came in, they wanted to continue the rebuilding. That they went for Zubimendi, they didn't get him. Then I think they didn't get the targets they wanted. He goes through the season and he wins the league. I'm not sure they expected him to win the league in his first season, but then he did it anyway. Now, when you win a trophy or when you exceed expectations, what it does is that all of a sudden the plans change in the minds of fans, in the minds of several key people. If you don't have someone in and around you to calm your heads down and to stick to the original plan, you are going to suffer. So that was the first. That was what I think went wrong with Liverpool, in that when they got that money, when they won the league, after winning the league, they had money on their hands, and then they went on and splashed it. Every player they bought. Me, I'm not going to sit here and say Florian Wirtz is not a good player. I'm not going to say Alexander Isak is not a good player.
These are top players. I mean,
These are top
play,
players.
yeah.
I want them in my team. You want them in your team.
Accrington Stanley will win the league too easily.
Yeah, I'm going to ignore you.
No, I mean, imagine I had Florian Wirtz in Accrington Stanley.
So you see,
what a signing that was.
so you see, these are players you want in your team. By the end of the day, for me, I felt Liverpool's transfers had to do with the ones they didn't buy more than the ones they bought. Because I kept saying before 1 week to the end of the window that these guys need wingers. They need wingers. Look, the Premier League, one thing I've studied is this: if you don't have enough wingers, you are going to struggle.
But they've got Gakpo.
You see, City. You see, people look at City and say, why did they struggle last season? It is because they downgraded on their wings. You sold Mahrez, you lose Mahrez, Sterling, Sonny. These guys were giving you top performances from the wing. They were winning you games from the wing. Who are your wing options right now? Doku, Savinho. These guys are just prospects. They are not going to give you the kind of productivity, the sort of productivity you were getting from these guys, from the Sterlings, the Mahrezes, the Sannys, the Bernardo Silvas when he was a winger. You see, so that's one issue. In the Premier League, you need wide players, and they did. And you see, what surprised me with Slot not getting a replacement for Diaz, it was one of the reasons he won the league. That side of the pitch, like the strength he had in depth on that side of the pitch, was one of the reasons why he won the league. So to really surrender your depth and to buy different profiles altogether was surprising, because when you watch certain games, certain games they were struggling to get over the line. They eventually did, so maybe people forgot. But in the game against Bournemouth, in the game against Newcastle, they brought on wingers.
So as a matter of update, Brentford have gotten a second goal against West Ham. So it's West Ham 0, Brentford 2. In the 95th minute, that goal went in. And Charlie, Brentford are up in the air. I mean, what a performance from Brentford. And they've gone to the home of West Ham, and they have put them to the sword. So it's West Ham 0, Brentford 2, and that game has just ended. The West Ham fans left the stadium in droves. The stadium looks half empty. Nuno Espirito Santo is scratching his head. What should I do? Is it the quality of the squad? What will it take for me to get this team up and running? Let's see how that pans out. Yes, carry on.
Yeah, so like that's what I'm saying. And I'm saying that he benefited from something very, very much last season, and then he let that go without replacing them. Look, for me, going to Florian Wirtz and Mohamed Salah. Look, none of us can sit on this around this bench and tell us we saw this performance from Salah coming.
I did.
No, Ajo, you didn't. No. I'm not sure anyone, Salah, with the form he had last season, winning the PFA Player of the Year, and the kind of the way he carried Liverpool to games last season.
You and me know Salah on the ball.
Yes, but the thing is this. Everyone knows Salah on the ball. Salah was not going to be on the ball for like 90 minutes in the game. But we knew one thing we expected from Salah was to get you the goals, to get you to be productive for you at least. When the time is tough, you expected Salah to drag you out of the mat. So I wouldn't sit here and say Liverpool shouldn't have given him a new contract, or they should have let him go in the summer. Because no one expected the PFA Player of the Year, fourth in Ballon d'Or voting, or was it third or fourth in Ballon d'Or voting, to be turning out this kind of performance. But you see, in hindsight, you can say it is not far-fetched. We saw it happening. Because, we can't say we saw it happen. We can say we should have expected it. Because this guy is 34 years old. Look, someone should tell me, what is his motivation right now? He's won everything he needs to.
And there were even speculations that he was going to leave.
Exactly.
At point.
The only thing that is left for Salah to win is the AFCON. The only thing he could win that is left for him to win is the AFCON.
And maybe the Ballon d'Or.
And the Ballon d'Or, he's come close twice. He's not been able to get over the line.
Yeah.
So maybe at 34, he could be looking at it and say, yeah, I did my best. I got there. I couldn't get it. So what then is his motivation again to go? And you see, it's one thing we underrate a lot, but it is very, very key in players at this age. You look at Pep Guardiola when he got to Bayern Munich. You know one of the things he said? He said 6 players in his team, in his Bayern Munich team, after his first season where Madrid humiliated him in the Champions League, they beat them 4-0 and 1-0 home and away. They asked him going into the next season whether he could, which challenges he faced. He said, look, 6 of my players, after winning the treble just before I came, and not really willing to do things the way I wanted to change the way they do things and do it the way I wanted, have now gone to win the World Cup. You understand? They had won the treble before Pep got there. Now Pep is telling you, forget whatever you learned at Jupp Heynckes and play it my way. Play football my way. Now this Schweinsteiger, imagine Bastian Schweinsteiger, a treble winner. He's won the treble. He's 31, 32. He's not. It's not like he's not. You are not now come to teach him how to play football. So it was already difficult. Then he went on to win the World Cup. How are you going to how are you going to convince these players that your way of football is the best? That is the same position Mohamed Salah is in right now. He's 34. He's 34. He's won everything he has to win it for. He's won PFA Player of the Year 3 times. He's had a stellar career. When we are mentioning the greats in the English football, we are going to mention his name. Some will say arguably he's the best winger to ever play in the Premier League. And they have a point.
His numbers are ridiculous.
Exactly. So my question right now is, at this point in Mo Salah's career, what is his motivation? For me, I think it's to win AFCON. You understand? I think it's to win AFCON. So then that is what I get from him. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm not saying he's not a professional. Of course, he's a professional. I cannot question his professionalism. But sometimes you need that edge. You need that driving force to take you. I watched one of his interviews before the season started, and he said, and they asked him why he performed so well. He said, when Slot came, he told Slot, look, I'm no longer the guy. I'm no longer strong enough to be going up and down the wing. But if you allow people to do the work for me and keep me up front, I'm going to win you the league. So you see, the first part of that statement is where my point is. He himself has admitted he's no longer that guy to be going up. At some point, father time will catch up with you. And that is what is happening to him. So please, for Mo Salah, it's not like he's suddenly become a bad player. No, he's just old. And he's won everything he has to win. I don't think there's any motivation for him to go do. If the only reason I would say would justify Liverpool giving him a new contract is that there's no Mo Salah on the market. If you saw Mo Salah right now, you find it very difficult to replace him. Ajo is talking about Antoine Semenyo. He's no Mo Salah.
But can he do a job for Liverpool?
When you are replacing someone like Mohamed Salah, you are not looking for someone to do a job for you. Look at Madrid when they let Ronaldo go. They tried some Matrai. They didn't get that. Then they went to spend 100 million on Eden Hazard. It still didn't work. They had to be lucky. They were lucky. A 16-year-old from Brazil came in with some kind of this one and gave them something different. He didn't even give them what Ronaldo used to give them. He gave them something different in that area of the pitch. See, it's very difficult to replace this kind of players. So I understand Liverpool give him a new contract. You understand? So yeah, so we see, there's nothing wrong with Mo Salah. It's not like, let's not bash him too much. He's just old and he's won everything he has to win.
So there's no motivation.
There's no motivation.
Anyway, let me
just talk about Florian Wirtz. 30 seconds on Florian Wirtz. Look, And I'll wrap up with Liverpool. The main concern for me about Liverpool. Now, Florian Wirtz, this is it. See, the worrying sign about Florian Wirtz is this. At the start of the game, at the beginning of the game, the camera zoomed in on him on the bench. Boy, I saw I saw Mikhailo Mudrik's face. I saw Timo Werner's face. The way he was sitting on the bench, it casted that figure for me. No, look, I'm not saying he's going to be as bad as a flop as those two. But what I'm saying is that the kind of body language he showed on the bench was not encouraging at all.
Is it like he wasn't ready, he's not ready for English football?
Yeah, my point is this. My point is this. He needs, he's a very brilliant player. No one can deny his talent. But for the Premier League, it's these little things that people pick up on. If a midfielder, a defensive midfielder, or like someone who has been asked to mark club, vets in Brentford or Burnley, or let's say Southampton or Southampton are no longer there, Sunderland, Newcastle, and all those other teams, is looking at that figure, they are going to be very confident. And you see, sometimes you might ignore these things, but these players, they pick up on these things. How confident you are, how like when you come on the pitch, whether the price tag is getting to your head, these things matter to these, because they know talent-wise you are far ahead of them. So these are the things they can get you with. So that is my concern about. I don't want him to lose his head. He should be focused. The form is a very, very funny thing. It will come. So far as your quality is there, your class is there, Charlie, the form will come. Now, finally on Liverpool, I just said everything about them. But what I'm going to say is this. The worrying thing about the last 3 weeks for Liverpool is the manner in which the defeats has come. And it is, look at the Premier League. It is the same template. The team scores first. The team scores in the first half, early in the first half. The opponent scores early in the first half. They struggle, they equalize. Then after equalizing, they concede a late goal.
Yeah, same with Crystal Palace.
Same with Crystal Palace. Same with Chelsea. Same with United. It is the same template, and that is a worry. See, and the most worrying one was the game, the yesterday's game at Anfield, because the normal Liverpool thing is that when they equalize at that time, the Anfield crowd will do the rest.
They were even quiet.
But yesterday, the Anfield crowd didn't even do it for them against United. It was rather United that went on to get the winner. And you see, at that point, it was very easy to even bet a United winner. That is the worrying thing about Liverpool. That they could equalize 3 times in a row and still lose the game. They equalized after the 75th minute in 3 games in a row and still went on to lose it. I think the Chelsea game, they didn't equalize. So the Chelsea game, I'm wrong about that.
No, they didn't equalize.
No, they didn't equalize after the 75th minute.
Okay, no, they equalized earlier.
They equalized earlier.
I think it was around the 58 or 59.
Against Palace, they equalized in the 88th minute and still lost the game. Against United, they equalized in the 78th minute and still lost the game. That's the biggest worry with regards to Liverpool in the last 4 weeks. It is something that they should look at very, very carefully, because it is very, very unlike Liverpool, especially yesterday at the cup end when they were attacking the cup end in the second half. They scored an equalizer, and the cup end didn't drag them to the winner. It's a very, very big worry.
It's a big worry.